Hello world, and welcome back to another exciting episode of the Advanced Wars by Web Grand Strategy Cast. Today's episode, we'll be covering my turn on day 34 of my Asia Grand Strategy campaign. But first, a Wars World news update covering everything that's happened since the last episode. So of course, immediately after me is Cobalt Ice, who is in quite a difficult spot. His battleships do a decent amount of damage to this infantry, and that will buy them one more turn. Finally, he begins to retake the port in the south. Blue Moon is beginning to engage in much more naval activity in this area, although perhaps a bit too late to save Cobalt at this point. Though he will be engaging with Red's battleships and with Red's submarines. You can see Red's battleships open up and clear away, and oh! So he'll actually be capturing with this mech on that territory, which is going to bring it down to 10, and they're going to be able to capture it next turn. And that's going to bring us to day 34, my turn. So immediately I see that Cobalt is in trouble, and while Cobalt has been in trouble for quite a while, I think this might be it for him. He's got a full 10 hit point mech capturing his headquarters, and although he was able to injure this infantry with his battleships, this mech kind of came out of nowhere and started capturing. And with nothing really to damage or to challenge this mech in any way, I do think that is going to be it for Cobalt Ice, which is very unfortunate. I was really hoping we could all actually work together to deal with Red before we started engaging with each other, but it doesn't look like Cobalt is going to make it. But this does go to show just what a threat Red Fire really is. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that even if we do have an advantage over Red Fire, he's got so many ships and God knows how many submarines, and now he's going to have a nice little land foothold here. If Cobalt Ice is going to be gone, then he'll have no one to challenge him all up in the north here until I have something to say about it. Now, I've thought long and hard if there's anything that I or any of us can do to save Cobalt, and I really just don't think there's a way. I was thinking, what if I went ahead and did enough damage to Cobalt Ice in order to give him a double time or perhaps even a victory march? And then if Cobalt can get a victory march, what if I moved my tank and actually allowed Cobalt to capture my comms tower with the victory march? Now, the comms tower is a 10% firepower bonus. Victory march gives you another 70%, so then that'd be 80% total. And you've got a movement increase as well attached to that ability. And I was just trying to figure, is there any way this infantry could take out this medium tank just to give them access? If they can just do 1 point of damage, if anyone or anything can do just 1 point of damage to this mech, then we can save Cobalt. But I'm looking and I'm looking and I'm not seeing anything. Unfortunately, these medium tanks are just too far away, and all these units here are infantry. He doesn't have any mechs. If he had 2 or 3 mechs, he might just be able to take out this medium tank and then go in and put some damage there. Perhaps then Blue Moon could come in and save him. Perhaps then I could buy another turn and then eventually get a battleship out, but it just doesn't look like it's happening. Meanwhile, Blue Moon is really starting to get tangled up in the sea as well. You can see a battleship down to 6 hit points, a battleship down to 7 hit points, a battleship down to 3 hit points. That is significant. Of course, this black boat has taken some damage too and is damn near dead. And there's an 2 infantry inside, you see? And this cruiser here is also down to 3 hit points. Plus, there's at least 1, if not more, submarines out here. So Blue is already pretty tangled up, and soon so will I be. And I think that unfortunate reality kind of informs what I need to do this turn, which is, to be perfectly honest, I need to acknowledge that Cobalt Ice is donezo, and I need to start consuming him now, before he's even gone. I need to start eating him alive, but that's what's gonna give me the best chances against Red, and hopefully I can intervene on land sooner rather than later. and keep red from gaining too much of a foothold. I don't know what's going through Blue Moon's mind right now, and I don't know maybe if he'll even use this opportunity to try to stab me in the back and attack me or something like that. But I have a feeling, I think he understands just how significant the threat is right now. The reality is, I don't know if any one of us could actually take out Red. It just sounds like such a nightmare of having to fight him off every scrap of the mainland, push him all the way back, and then build battleships and submarines and everything else to take him on out at sea, and then push him back, fight your way through the battleships and the subs with your battleships and your subs and your landers, and then land units and fight a desperate struggle. There was literally a world war, and they dropped an atomic bomb for the first time in human history so that they wouldn't have to invade Japan. And now that's what we're going to have to do. I will also have to start mobilizing a lot of my forces to the north and to the northeast. And I do think Blue Moon's going to appreciate seeing a couple of these units move on away. So once again, starting up here in the north, if Cobalt is gone, I might as well try to get some commander points out of it. So you see right now I am actually at 0 commander points because I have not engaged with my opponent since I used my prime tactics to kind of halt Blue Moon's advance down here. So I'm gonna try to get the most XP I can out of this. As cruel as that may seem, it is a necessary evil at this point. So here, take the shot there. And let's develop this tank. Here, unfortunately, this APC only has 2 fuel remaining, so not even enough to get back to the city to refuel. That's a mistake on my part, but we're gonna have to deal with it. I think the best bet for now would be to unload this mech here. You wait down there, and you, this 10 HP mech, let's put you in the APC so he is safe from any future typhoons. Let us also develop this tank a little further. Let's take that guy out, why not? I think you take this shot here. You finish him off there. Now this rocket, let us see what this rocket can do. 99 to 106. I like the mods, let's see what happens. Boom, there he goes. And I am going to start taking this right here, right now. Hopefully I can grab that next turn. So at this point, Gank has just enough for a double time. Hopefully he appreciates that. And I've gotten myself a whopping 1,800 commander points. Okay, let's keep going. So this one's worth 300, this one's worth 400, but I kind of want to develop in this direction as well. Alright, let's develop you and take this guy out at the same time as well. And you can develop here, and you can go inside. Beautiful. There, and let us advance. Oh, I'm Cobalt, I'm sorry. Okay, you hold here for repairs. You as well, hold here for repairs. Okay, let us develop you. Let's get you repairing up on there as well. And let us develop you as well. So move you forward up the line. Now you can get some repairs there. Okay, and here, let us continue to develop our line a little bit. Let's get this guy moved up that way. And plug the guy with you. Of course, you can move there. You can move that way. I'll have you plug that. Let's get you in there. And then we'll have to handle our ships in a minute. And you all actually bring up this way. I think that'll be a little bit faster if I go up here, cross over onto the comm tower up north through the forest, so no speed penalty, and then off this way. You, I will have come back just this one space. Either way, it's going to take you another turn to get there. I do want him one space closer to the front, just for that slight extra bit of preparedness. And let's have you take his place on the mountaintop there. This is going to be a very vital position, so I want to keep this occupied with something at all times and keep this comm tower safe. Now, since we're actually at the unit cap, if I want to build anything this turn, something has got to go. And for the most part, I haven't joined anything yet. I am waiting for the Typhoon next turn in order to join some things together. I don't want to join my units together this turn to bring them back to full health if they're just going to get hit with a Typhoon next turn. Now, I can mitigate that slightly by doing this, and joining those two like that, and then this guy joining here like that. Now that's going to give me 2 more units I can build. I think all I'm really going to want is another mech and, let's say, another infantry along the line here. Where do I want it? Do I want it here, or do I want it here? I think this one might be faster. It would take you right to this forest, which is a good drop-off zone. So let's just continue this guy along like that. And you guys both continue to get your capture on, although these are down to 4. Hopefully I can get away with just taking both of them. And that APC makes it with no fuel to spare. That clears the way for this guy to wait up here, and as intended, there we go. And with my lines rearranged like that, it is now time to move my fleet. So I'm gonna have to be very conscious of how I move these guys. I'm gonna want to try to be as efficient as possible. So you move and resupply that guy. That's good. So we'll go ahead and advance this fleet as far forward as we can. And I can continue with my chain of logistics. Refuel that ship. Now it's back up to 60. I'm going to actually pull this guy out here and, of course, repair the battleship. Now that's going to be expensive. It's going to cost me 10% of the cost of a battleship just to repair it at one point. So that is going to be 2,800 every single hit point that I repair. It's going to be very costly, but that is going to be the necessary thing if I'm going to have this fleet out at sea like this. Good thing I built hopefully an adequate number of black boats. So I think I will have this cruiser wait for one last turn, and then I will continue to move it out the rest of my fleet. His job of securing this passage complete. So that's going to take care of everything for me, and with that, I shall end my turn. It's up to you, Cobalt. So thank you so much for joining me again for another episode of the Advanced Wars by Web Grand Strategy Cast. If you're a subscriber, welcome back. If it's your first time watching, I do hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, then perhaps consider subscribing so that you can see a little bit more of us. Maybe even like the video or give us a comment. All that jazz. And hey, check out some of this other stuff that I made, including a link to my full Advanced Wars by Web video playlist. So I hope you enjoy that. Thank you so much for joining us once again, and I will see you on in the next one.